Hello. So I'm probably the 200th person to make a video like this similar to the thoughts about the update when it was announced back in February, right? But I guess my opinion matters, and I think there are some important things to talk about when it comes to Valve themselves. But let's just get into the update itself before we talk about that. One out of all the 10 maps were a major miss, so good on Valve on that. And that map is Venice. Venice is pretty bad in layout, health and ammo respawns, and you know where they are, right? And well, when it comes to the map itself, the first blue spawn is literally 3 boxes with 3 doors, and one of them opens sideways for some reason. Not to mention the huge sightline or the sight lines that this map has, and how much it benefits sniper. Like, what the shit is this spot, dude? Look at this spot. Like, what is this? Help. The creators said that they are working on a layout update, but honestly, if you want to make the map better, you gotta do some heavy improvements to make the map at least somewhat enjoyable. But hey, it isn't Buttville, right? Second map is Selbyn, which is, yes, the seal map. Selbyn is a player destruction game mode where you kill players to earn fisk, which you feed to the seal. If you don't know that already, like, I don't know, most people just look at a seal. I get it, it's cute. But otherwise, this map can get quite intense with its gameplay.
Put dispenser here.
You're not getting a dispenser. F*** off, Edward.
Put dispenser here.
And there we go, the sightlines, Jesus. Some improvements can be, you know, definitely implemented, like a balcony outside one of the spawns that make it easier to put up a defensive hold from the opposite team. And perhaps more cover from, you know, other sources, maybe? That would be awesome. Anyways, I rate this map 8 Fiskar out of 10. It needs a few more improvements, like a few more cover, English, really, and then it will be mwah, I think. Third one is Rotunda. Rotunda is a nucleus kind of map, you know, king of the hill with a spherical, you know, map with flanks and pathways over and under it. You know, it plays great and it looks great. However, the environment feels a bit too much, if you get what I mean. Sometimes it feels like you get stuck on props you never knew were there. Like, for example, when approaching the point is kind of a pain, because again, there's so much props, there's so many things. And it would help a lot if they did some tweaking with that, because it feels a bit too cluttered, in my opinion. But otherwise, I like it. It's a good addition, I think. The rating, I would say a 7 out of 10. It needs a little bit more tweaking in terms of its geometry, I think. But otherwise, it's, you know, it's very good. Fourth map is Sulfur. Here's a map for you soft boys and soft girls who play Valorant. You know, you guys will enjoy this one. Sulfur is fun. It's interesting to say the least. It's a mix between CP Steel and KOF Sujin, where it's a CP map, and whenever you capture a point, the last point becomes easier to capture layout-wise, right? I like these maps that drastically change over time when, you know, capture points are being capped, giving a sense of progression. Not to mention the last D point can be capped whenever, similar to the last E point on Steel. Aesthetically, the map looks great. It looks amazing and still retains the TF2 style in it a bit. You can see Mount Fuji in the background and, you know, in the skybox, and you realize that pools of water are really hot springs. My only critique with this map is that it's pretty damn huge. The A and the B points are near blue spawn, so they're relatively easy to approach. But however, C is pain. Not only does it take forever to walk over there, but 8 times out of 10 you will stumble across a random enemy that will most likely kill you, because, you know, you're approaching the red spawn. So yeah, there's that. This map splits 12v12 servers thin whenever B point is captured, because people are not funneled into the same spawn area. Some walk towards D and some walks towards C. Not to mention the C point is just an open bowl where enemy team can literally just bomb you from all directions. I would like to see a move-forable spawn, so the blue team can attack together and not randomly, you know, separate, because most games you lose on sea because people, you know, they can't make it over there because the timer runs out. So if you want to capture sea, you really have to go engineer and kind of have to tell your team that you need to attack sea and that you guys basically need to coordinate, or else, you know, you might actually lose. So sometimes, you know, that, I mean, these are rare cases, right? But this is what I think. You know, otherwise, the map is great. I like the progression that it has, and there's a lot of spots for every class to make its play, so it's good. Fifth map is Cashworks. Cashworks is a really old map, and to be honest, it's quite fun. Similar to like Dust Bowl, where it's bad but fun. So, it's a long payload map, has a lot of corridors, and I might add, lots of claustrophobic areas, but they're very interesting gameplay-wise. There's a lot of different flanks to take, so it doesn't become the next bad or last type choke point that you guys are very familiar to. Most people probably hate it, but it's been played on community servers since the map's release, all the way back in 2008, by the way, and recently uploaded on the workshop in 2022 by the same creator. This payload map is probably your Swiftwater, but better, honestly. 7 out of 10. And yes, I am aware of this funny feature.
For the love of God!
The sixth map is Phoenix, and to be honest, it's better than I expected. From the screenshots and what my friends have told me, I was worried that this map was gonna play horribly. But to my surprise, it plays wonderfully. There are quite a few sidelines on this map that may be a bit annoying, but there are many flanks that can take out that said sniper using that said sideline, right? Same goes for Engineer 2. A minor critique, the last point kinda blows, but honestly I can overlook that from the amazing layout it has. Not to mention the details and the setting and the skybox, you know, this map is really immersive, it is really cool. So the praise this map gets on the workshop and by the people playing it, it's completely justified. 9 out of 10, I think. Seventh map is Reckoner. Honestly, Reckoner feels and plays like CP Process. Sure, it has a unique and, you know, a bit of a charm to it, you know? And also it takes place in Japan because it has bamboo. It's a bamboo farm, it seems like we're Minecraft, hello. What's with people's obsession with Japan? Either way, this map is cool, I think. You know, I like the theme. It's well made, however, it plays like another 5 CP map, like, Process. So, yeah, it's a quite bit smaller, I gotta say. And it has bigger hallways, so if you get trapped in one of them, like, you won't die instantly by, like, sticky spam or rocket spam. So, yeah, it's a better version of Process, I gotta say. And it's not really that flat, like Process. So, I don't know, I mean, it's alright. I think it's alright. I think, you know, it's a 6 out of 10 for me. Not bad, but not, you know, very stellar either, like Phoenix or Selbin. Eighth map is Hardwood, and honestly, Hardwood is one of my favorites. It has the same style as Monster, but it feels so much better to play. All flanks feel their purpose really well, and the first blue spawn isn't easy to camp. Gives more room for blue to move and push up towards the point, you know, the first point. And speaking of the first point, there's a lot of ways to push into it, and the second point has, you know, it also has some ways to push into it, but it favors red a bit too, not a bit too much, but, you know, slightly more. And the last point is a bit of a mess, but no way bad. Spice probably has a lot of fun on this map, so yeah, I really like this map. 8 out of 10. Ninth map is Pelican Peak, and well, it's a CTF map. And most of the time CTF maps are a pain to play, or at least for me. Of course you can get interesting games on here, but Pelican Peak looks and plays well in my opinion. I don't really have much to say though, so yeah, lol. The last map on this list is Shark Bay. Shark Bay is a really good KOF map. It takes place in the Manhattan area, which like no other like KOF or CP or payload map has ever done. The map is small and tight and feels great to play on, as every class. Health and ammo packs are where you expect them to be, and they are very generous, so you don't have to go on a literal expedition when you want health or when you are low on health. It's a good map. I like that you can be eaten by sharks now. You know, also there's a frog in the ship. So yeah, it's a really good map. I like the ship. I played the version before, and now when it's here, it looks so much better. The boat is so, you know, it's so good. It's so damn good. So yeah, 9 out of 10 fiskmåsar. Fiskmåsar, as we call it in Sweden. Seagulls, whatever, watch out. Okay, so funny boxes. And the hat case is really good, honestly. It contains some really good items that I myself will use. And surprisingly, most of the neutrals are good. There's not a lot of stinkers in here. Heck, even the nebula ones are good because they're not obnoxiously bright like the last one we got. They're just good. My favorite ones are the Fireflies and Mountain Halo. And shout out to Arthur, who made that effect. And the engineer set with a bunch of other people. So yeah, congratulations Arthur, you deserved it. I knew leaving you in the description of my videos would get you here, so yeah, it's just good job, buddy. Now, Warpaints, which most of you guys are probably here to watch me, you know, talk about. And yes, I will admit, Valve went a little bit overboard with the color scheme of gray and brown, but you know, to be honest, are there bad additions? No, but they could have probably been separated into separate cases. Either way, most of these Warpaints are really good. Some of them feels but to be honest, no way bad. You know, the one that sticks out the most is Sky Stallion. It kind of fell flat to me, to be honest. It was meant to have a rotation lock on the checkerboard pattern, but Valve forgot about it, and we will go into detail about that in the end of this video. And I feel like they forgot to add an albedo tetting to the Warpaint because it does not look right without it. However, the Warpaint has the right theme going for it, but it needed a bit more time in the oven. For example, the bolts or screws are way too dark and contrast heavily with the plate color, which makes it really hard to look at. Not to mention the random rocket stickers that are also there, so that doesn't do it any favors either. I can probably try to improve the texture myself to make it look somewhat pleasant to look at, but still, it's not a bad Warpaint in any way. It's not offensive to the side of the game. It just looks kind of bad on more weapon models due to its large contrast with the bolts and plates. Otherwise, every Warpaint in this case is very well made, and shout out to the Watch Show for getting business class into the game. It looks good. The brown is a bit too saturated and a bit too, you know, orange and bright, but that's fine in my opinion. Other than that, pretty successful case in my opinion, where the Warpaint makes your gun actually look like a gun, rather than some random sticker clip art collage neon type shit. And what I find especially funny when people are shitting themselves when they hear that people are actually enjoying drab boring skins instead of the neon clip art garbage that we've been receiving for fucking years. Like, God forbid people like something that isn't bright and flashy. God forbid that people like something that is just a very simple overhaul in terms of texture work on your gun. Yeah, sorry, it isn't a neon shitty fucking trader main mess. Maybe next Warpaint will get it, you know, who fucking knows, because it's Halloween. Then people will squirt out whatever they want to get something in. Like Broken Bones. That was made in less than a day to just squirt something out, and he got it in, and he got his fucking paycheck. So yeah, this Warpaint case is easily the second best we've been received, you know, in all of, you know, TF2, right? Still doesn't beat 2017 in my opinion, but, you know, it's really, really good. The worst one in this case, I think, is Bomb Carrier, because again, it's just two flat textures with stripes. But again, is it bad? No. Is it, you know, I think it's the worst one in the case, but it's certainly not bad. You know, compare that shit to the Bonson Nod we got, or Health and Hell, like Jesus Christ, or Hypergon. These Warpaints are definitely 100 times better than these amateur work pieces of garbage. I'm really sad that Pamp didn't get anything in, but, you know, I still, you know, and I didn't get anything in. But I don't care, because we finally got a good Warpaint case that people can actually enjoy. Like, dear God. And guess what? We got it because we spoke out about it, you know? So maybe we should keep doing that and hope Valve keeps this shit up. They will probably do it because they probably saw the difference in money. So was this update a success? Well, Valve got the moneymakers right. When it came to actual promises like community fixes, no. Yes, there is Sax and Hail, I forgot to talk about that. But apparently when they probably play tested it, it probably worked, but it doesn't work in casual, because in casual queue, the coordinator will put everyone on the same team, or everyone on a specific team, and when the V-script kind of wants to drag one person out of the party into the blue team, it kind of freaks out because the casual coordinator will try to put the player into the red team, whatever, but the V-script wants to put that player in the blue team, so it kind of clashes, therefore crash. And Valve doesn't really know what to do with it, and we won't probably see it for the next couple days, but hopefully they will fix it soon. But when it comes to Venice and all of this Saxon Hill stuff, it just shows that Valve doesn't care. Not to say that the TF2 devs do. Of course they care, because they, if they didn't care, they wouldn't push this update at all. They wouldn't announce anything. So I'm happy that they do something, and I'm happy that we got this event update, whatever you want to call it. But when it comes to Saxon Hill and all of this, it's really, really sad. Now to the sad part that in the end of the video, where, when it comes to the whole Valve stuff, right? Valve doesn't really care about us. Like, I'm talking about higher-ups at Valve. When it comes to the TF2 devs, Eric Smith and a part-time contractor, well, I don't know about the contractor if he cares about us, but, Eric Smith and this contractor tried their best to make it work out for us, and they kind of did with the moneymaker, so, and maps. So yeah, good job on them, like I applaud them. But when it comes to versus Saxon Hill and one map that wasn't really good, you kinda have to, question what happened. What it means is that there are two people who try to push up an update that contains a lot of stuff that they need to, implement into the game and implement it correctly. They gotta compile the maps, they gotta import the taunts correctly and whatnot. There's so much to do with two people for what is essentially a 15-12 team job. So I'm not surprised that some things were buggy, but compared to Scream Fortress last year, this was a lot better actually. Like, Valve somehow makes the most useless changes ever. Like Artifact, a VR headset that's way too expensive, a Nintendo Switch 2 that no one cares about, and changing the UI on Steam, making it more harder to use and more slower from what I experience. Sure, they're porting CSGO to Source 2, but that's because CSGO makes them billions compared to the shiny penny that TF2 does. The only reason why the player base bumped the record is because the TF2 devs reached out to us, saying, hey, we're releasing more stuff in the summer, so okay, prepare your wallets. So obviously we hyped it up, because getting holiday stuff for, 3 to 4 years gets a little bit tiring sometimes. Good thing that some guy pointed it out and encouraged others to talk about it. Gee, I wonder who that is. But from what I know, community fixes are gonna make their way in. Eric kind of forgot about that, and they should slowly make their way into the game, hopefully. I mean, the map creator of Steel came back and patched up the map and made it a lot better, as you can see in this footage. At least it isn't snakes, right? Jesus Christ. Anyhow, TF2 devs, if you're somehow listening to this, first of all, really good job, like I applaud you, but I'm really sorry that Valve doesn't do fucking anything to help you guys. And thank you, Eric Smith and the contractor, or whoever works on TF2, for keeping, in touch with us. It's really nice, and I hope we can get something like this more in the future. And honestly, if you're listening to this, keep some of the maps in the rotation. Hardwood, Cashworks, Phoenix, and Sharkbait. Please keep these maps in a rotation. They are fun, they're well made, and they need to be in the casual queue because they breathe so much life into TF2 more than you can never imagine. Like, why are you gonna keep a red space in the game, but not these 4 amazingly made maps? So yeah, and again, I'm not shitting on the TF2 devs. I'm mostly shitting on Valve because they make some of the most questionable and dumbest changes to, I don't know. They won't put any effort or something into TF2 because it's not worth their time. Due to their policy, they can do whatever they want on there. They can pick their nose or fart and shit themselves, and they will call it a day. They won't work on TF2 because it isn't new. Because it's old, even though hundreds of thousands play the game daily, even monthly, I don't know. And it's so sad, like only 2 people are working on the game. Like it pisses me off so much, because this is the shit we want, right? Anyways, thanks for listening to me ranting and discussing this event update thing. I've had heaps of fun playing these new maps, and it's just nice to see worthy creators getting their worthy items into the game, instead of stock images, stolen clip art, terrible haps, and so on and so forth. It just feels good. I am finally at peace knowing that TF2 players get what they deserve. Some good fucking food. Not gravel and piss that we've been getting for the past 4 years from the same damn creators, and now they're literally mauling because their stuff didn't get into the game. So yeah, that's all I really wanted to say. Sorry for the excessive swearing, and bye bye. I'm making a video about the update. What do you want to say? Right here, right now, what do you want to say?
This update is the most important update in years because new maps outside of Halloween restricted shit, or holiday restricted shit, I mean. I didn't realize how important a non-holiday restricted map would be until we got this.
That's true.
Because now I realize that, like, Phoenix is so goddamn good. And the level of importance placed on this kind of shit means that, like, people are like, oh, this might be a mainstay. Okay, effort.
Hey guys, it's post-production monkey over here. I've been editing this for around, I don't know how long, for more than 12 hours. And I think I'm getting arthritis from this video alone. So that's pretty cool. I think I need to like stop, but I'm not. This is pretty awesome, and big thanks to my patrons for making this possible and stuff. So yeah, and if you become patron, you get access to my Discord and whatever, and you give me more, you basically pay me more for what I do. So yeah, there's that. So yeah,